Hi guys, excuse the makeup. I was experimenting. Just having a girl day. But today's topic is going to be breaking the cycle when it comes to relationships and toxic relationships in particular. So many of us grow up with a lot of self-judgment and criticism and insecurities, and for those reasons we kind of jump at any sort of love that we can get. The more insecure we are, the more toxic love we accept. So a huge thing when it comes to relationships is that we accept slightly less abuse than we abuse ourselves. So if we abuse ourselves a lot mentally, like telling ourselves really nasty things on a daily basis, or doing really bad things to ourselves, or making bad choices, or whatever it may be, if anybody shows you slightly less than what you show yourself, you will likely accept it and alarms won't blare. So, because a lot of the time when people get into really toxic relationships, they are convinced that that's the only kind of love that they'll ever get. And especially toxic partners like to convince you that they're the only person that'll ever love you that way. Or if you've never been in a relationship, maybe the relationship you have with yourself is really toxic. So this is about healing that. The way to heal the way that you view relationships and the way that you accept love is obviously, first and foremost, the relationship that you have with yourself. You are all you have at the end of the day. You are the only person you're with 24/7, and you need to care for yourself. You need to care for yourself the same way that you care for other people, because I know you do. I know you have a big heart and can love everyone and can care about everyone. But sometimes we forget to give that love and care to ourselves. So that's why we have to start being our own best friend. And it's a hard journey when you're used to judging your every move. You have this voice in your head judging everything. And it doesn't matter that nobody sees it because you see it. Nobody knows what's inside your head and what you see on a daily basis or what you do on a daily basis. So you feel like you almost deserve judgment, or maybe it's just habitual, but I'm saying you can break that habit. And the way that you break it is through self-love exercises, or just self-love in general. What do you like to do? What makes you feel good? If that's taking a bath and putting on a show on your phone, or if it's going to a park and having a little solo picnic, or if it's playing a game that you really, really love, or doing your skincare routine because you feel rejuvenated after, whatever, or just wearing comfy clothes. I saw this thing, I forget where it was, it must have been on TikTok, where you have to do all the love languages to yourself, and then the relationship with yourself will be incredible. So it's physical touch is wear something cozy, wear something comfy. And words of affirmation is affirmations. Say things that you love about yourself to yourself, because you do deserve it. You do deserve to tell yourself that you're incredible, you're amazing, you're beautiful, you're capable, and you can do anything, and that it's okay if you make mistakes and they're just lessons and you're growing. You have to learn how to speak to yourself positively. What else? Acts of service, doing that little thing that you've been putting off. Start with the easy stuff. Don't make it super hard. Don't make yourself do everything you've ever wanted to do. Just get one thing off the list. One little thing. Even if that's picking up the sock from the floor and putting it in the hamper. The more that you do these things, the more you're gonna see I actually do love myself. I do care about myself. Because, I mean, we wake up, we brush our teeth, we walk around, we do whatever, we do exercise, or we go to school, or we brush our hair, or whatever it may be. Even if we deny it, we do care about ourselves. We do love ourselves. And it's just about realizing that again, you know? So, all the love languages, do them to yourself. And the more that you love yourself, any sign of toxicity is one, triggering. So your emotions are immediately going to tell you that this person is not meant for you. I cannot emphasize enough how important your emotions are in determining whether you're compatible with someone. If someone is constantly putting you in fight or flight, you guys are not compatible, and it's okay if you're not friends. It's okay if you're not friends. It's okay if you don't date them. Even if you're capable of understanding them and why they do the things that they do, and you can empathize and you understand, like, anybody with a heart can understand anyone whenever they tell their story. It still does not mean that they deserve your time. It still does not mean that you deserve their toxicity, you know? Like, just because you can understand why they're doing it, you know, and maybe it's not their fault, but you're not the person for them if it's putting you in low spirits constantly. Maybe somebody else can handle it and they won't be in low spirits, and they're actually excited about helping this person grow. But if anything is putting you in low spirits, you have to accept that it's not working. I've learned this countless times through friendships that have not worked out, like super close best friendships, or with relationships as well. There are signs. There are always signs. And the first sign is the way you feel. The way you feel is telling you whether this person is your person or not the entire time you're interacting with them. You have to listen to that. And just because it's less worse than how you treat yourself, it doesn't mean that that's what you deserve. So when you start loving yourself, all the things that these people do are now like, oh, I'm actually gonna avoid that kind of person. Like, oh, actually, I'm not gonna talk to that person because that's a red flag, and I know what I'm worth. It's like you rise more, you rise more, you rise more, and then you get to this place where the only people you attract are the people who love you for you. The people who love you unconditionally. You don't have to change yourself. Not how you dress, not your hobbies, not how you present yourself, not what you talk about. Nothing has to change about you. And someone will love you exactly the way you are. And trust me, I thought this wasn't possible. I thought this wasn't possible because of how much toxicity I experienced throughout my life. I grew up in a toxic household, and I had very conditional love. So I didn't have an example of healthy love anywhere around me. Safe love, not a chance. So I had to start building that on my own. And oh my God, sorry, this just turned on. I thought the video stopped. I had to start building that on my own. And when I did, I would get into another friendship or relationship that was like less toxic than before. I would learn another lesson, and then it just continues until I finally got to the point where I can be myself. I can be fully me. I can talk about whatever I want. I can appear however I want. And this person loves me, high or low. Like, I have all my best friends are ride or dies, and my boyfriend is the most incredible, patient, loving human being I have ever met in my life. And he continues to be that for me every single day without fail. And I would not have gotten to this point of peace and bliss and happiness and love, unconditional love, if I didn't finally decide that I no longer wanted toxicity. And it's a hard decision to make when health or healthy love is scary and is unsafe territory. I'm about to sneeze. So, in order for it to not be unsafe territory, you have to start giving it to yourself in one way, shape, form, or another. I definitely said that wrong, but you do. I'm telling you, show yourself love little by little every day. And these little things will build up into the most beautiful thing. And you're not going to recognize yourself in a few months, in a few weeks, in a year. All of these things that build upon themselves stay. And they get you to a new point that ends up being your default. So you just keep raising your default line of like attraction. And so if you want to attract the love that you deserve, you have to get on a higher default line. If you're not happy with your relationships or friendships or even family dynamics right now, love yourself. Just love you. And it may sound ridiculous or hard if you are a person that hasn't put yourself first and is used to putting other people first. Because you think you have to bend over backwards to make everyone around you happy and then they'll love you. But unraveling that and people loving you without you even having to lift a finger is a piece I wish on everyone on earth. I wish that everybody on earth could be loved exactly the way that they are, because everyone deserves love, no matter who you are. So that's how you break the toxic cycles. That's at least the first step, but that's something that I was thinking about last night. So I just wanted to address this, and I hope that this resonates with at least someone. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Let's see if there's anything else I want to say on relationships. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions, because I would love to answer them. I would love to get specific about this topic because it's a doozy. It's a doozy, but you are deserving. And you got this. If I could do it, you could do it.